Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for August 18th. Currently looking at the U.S. Japanese yen pair. This particular pair closed up today. It is, let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. Pair closed up today. However, it did move much higher and then pull back a significant amount. Do look for this pair to potentially move as high as 95.85 and possibly as low as 93.67. Look for some resistance around 95.28 and look for some support around 94.18 in this particular pair. Now, switching over to the Euro USD pair. This particular pair did close up during today's session, did form an inside bar, so we could have the potential for a breakout. Definitely look for this pair to potentially move as high as 142.39, possibly as low as 139.83. Look for some resistance around 142.60 and look for some support around 140.93 in this pair. Now, looking at the pound US dollar pair, this pair moved much higher, back within previous ranges that we've seen. Definitely look for this pair to potentially move as high as 1.6694, possibly as low as 162.11. Look for some resistance around 166.50 and look for some support around 164.75. Now let's take a look at the Swiss. The Swiss US dollar pair formed an inside bar, did close down for the day. It is moving sideways still with a sideways bias. Look for it to possibly move as high as 1.0873, possibly as low as 1.0674. Look for some resistance around 1.0817 and look for some support around 1.0728. Now, as far as news announcements goes, we have the pound releasing their minutes at 4:30 a.m. Eastern Time. No real consensus on that. They're just releasing their minutes. Now, the Canadian dollar has their CPI report for July being released at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Consensus on that is that things have dipped a little bit lower from negative 0.3% to negative 0.8%. And year to date, it's showing that it's held at 1.9%. So we definitely need to keep an eye on the CPI reports across the board, really, on all currencies, looking for them to move higher. Moving a little bit negative is not that big of a deal. It's when it starts moving higher that we need to really pay attention. That news announcement is being released at 7 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. Now, what am I looking for during this next session as far as a trade? I want to show you a quick little scalp if the market were to turn around. Just something real quick that I'm looking at. Take this low, and basically we're going to take this session's low and this session's low, draw a trend line so we have a breakout point, and then take this session's low also and tag it with a horizontal line. Let me zoom back in. For those of you that like to scalp the market, this would be a very quick scalp of roughly 10 pips or so, 10 to 15 pips. Real quick little scalp. The interesting thing about this trend line is that you can draw it. You can draw it back a good way, so it does encompass a lot of time. When you put it right about here, it's very similar when you zoom in as far as the prices go. But definitely look for this particular breakout to occur and to take about 10 pips out of this little area if the market were to move higher. I'm sorry, if the market were to move lower. I don't necessarily anticipate it doing so, but if it as far as moving higher, I do anticipate it moving lower. So if we get a continuation, we had a pullback today. If we get a continuation of this strong little downtrend, we get a break there, I do believe we'll take those 10 pips out of the market from here to here. So definitely keep an eye on that quick little trade. Overall, we have moved into previous sideways range, so we could very well continue that. But even with this continuation, if that were to occur and we did not move lower, I still believe this little scalp, this little 10 pip scalp, will be there for you to take those 10 pips out of the market during this next session. Well, that about does it for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.